No one expects their life to change on a Tuesday, yet that was the day everything changed for Alex Turner. It was just another April morning, Alex awake, kettle boiling, the world stretching into life. Change doesn't arrive with fanfare. It tiptoes in, disguised as the ordinary, a forgotten umbrella by the door. That morning, Alex had no idea what was coming. Every morning, Alex followed the same routine. The alarm blared at 6:30, a reluctant hand silencing it after the second ring. Breakfast was always the same. Toast, a single egg, coffee with just enough sugar. The walk to the train station was a familiar dance. Keys in the left pocket, headphones on, a nod to Mrs. Patel watering her roses as Alex passed by. There was comfort in this predictability. The city might change, seasons might shift, but Alex's path felt steady, safe. The world outside could be chaotic, but inside this routine everything made sense. Even the smallest details, the pattern of cracks on the pavement, the rhythm of footsteps, were part of a private, reassuring script. On that particular Tuesday, the weather was uncertain. Clouds gathered, then scattered, as if unsure of their own plans. Alex glanced at the umbrella by the door, but decided against it. Just a quick dash to the train and back. What were the odds of rain? The decision felt so minor, so inconsequential, that it barely registered. The umbrella stayed behind. These are the choices we all make, the ones that blend into the background of our days. They seem harmless, even invisible, but sometimes they are the first domino. As Alex stepped out, a cool breeze pressed against their face. The street was alive with routine. Neighbors heading to work, children waiting for the bus, the mail truck idling at the corner. The sky, however, was undecided. Patches of blue fighting with heavy grey clouds. Still, Alex walked on, distracted by thoughts of the day ahead. The train station was busier than usual. There was a sense of hurried energy in the air. Alex found a spot on the platform and pulled out their phone, scrolling through emails. A notification blinked. A reminder about a meeting moved to noon. Another small adjustment. Another ripple in the day's rhythm. Just as the train pulled in, a single drop of rain landed on Alex's cheek. It was easy to ignore, but within seconds, more followed. People around Alex began to grumble, some fumbling for jackets or ducking under the small shelter at the edge of the platform. Alex reached instinctively for the umbrella, only to remember it was still at home. It seemed a trivial mistake, yet, as Alex would soon discover, small things have a way of becoming big things. The forgotten umbrella was just the beginning. The rain grew heavier as the train rattled along its tracks. Windows blurred, city streets faded behind a curtain of water. Inside the carriage, people shook out their wet hair, exchanged sympathetic glances, sighed at the inconvenience. Alex pressed against the glass, watching droplets race each other down the pane. At the next stop, the train lurched to a sudden halt. A voice crackled over the intercom, apologizing for the delay. "Signal failure ahead," it said. "Please remain patient." Commuters groaned. Phones came out, schedules were checked. The delay, at first brief, stretched longer and longer. Alex glanced at the time, realizing they would miss the meeting if the train didn't move soon. Anxiety bloomed, mixing with the damp chill from the rain. There was nothing to do but wait. Around Alex, strangers struck up conversations, sharing stories, complaints, even jokes to pass the time. For a moment, the inconvenience drew people together. What started as a small mistake, a forgotten umbrella, was now a growing disruption. The rain, the delay, the missed meeting, each moment connected, threads weaving into something unexpected. By the time the train finally reached downtown, Alex was running late. The streets were slick with rain, puddles forming in the dips of the sidewalk. People hurried in all directions, umbrellas blooming like flowers in the storm. Alex, coat pulled tight, tried to dodge the worst of the downpour, but was quickly soaked through. At the office, things were tense. The missed meeting had been important, and Alex's absence was noticed. A colleague offered a towel and a sympathetic smile, but the day felt off balance. Tasks piled up, conversations were shorter, patience was thinner. The rain outside beat a relentless rhythm against the windows, echoing the pressure inside. Throughout the day, Alex replayed the morning's choices. What if they'd taken the umbrella? What if they'd left earlier, caught a different train? The questions circled, unanswerable. Small decisions so easy to overlook now felt enormous. By late afternoon, the storm had become more than weather. It was a force pushing Alex toward a breaking point. The day was no longer ordinary. At 4:30, the news broke. A major accident had happened on the train line Alex usually took home. A signal failure, combined with flooding, had caused a derailment. There were injuries, emergency crews swarming the scene. Alex stared at the screen, heart pounding, realizing that it was the very train they would have caught if not for the morning's delay. Colleagues gathered around, stunned. Some made frantic calls to loved ones. Alex felt a wave of shock, relief, and guilt, all tangled together. The forgotten umbrella, the one small choice, had changed everything. It had meant missing a train, which had meant missing disaster. The office was quiet, everyone processing the news. Rain still battered the city, but inside the mood had shifted from stress to somber gratitude. Alex sat at their desk, staring at the water pooling on the windowsill, thinking about how close things had come. Some days, everything changes in an instant, but the reason can trace back to a moment that seemed meaningless. The evening was heavy with reflection. Alex walked home, shoes squelching in rain-soaked streets. The city felt different now, quieter, almost reverent. Strangers exchanged nods, sharing a silent understanding of what could have been. Every streetlight, every storefront felt sharper, more present. At home, Alex hung up the wet coat and noticed the umbrella by the door. Its presence was almost mocking, but with the shock fading, gratitude took its place. The day's chaos, the missed meeting, the arguments and stress, all of it had led to safety, all because of one small, forgotten thing. Alex made tea and sat by the window, watching the rain slow to a gentle drizzle. The comfort of routine was gone, replaced by a new awareness. Each decision, each moment, now seemed to carry a kind of weight. Nothing felt automatic anymore. The world outside was unchanged, but Alex was not. The day had left a mark, invisible, yet undeniable. Looking back, Alex realized how little control we truly have. We plan and prepare, build routines to shield us from chaos, but life has its own designs. The smallest decisions, what we carry when we leave, who we speak to, can ripple outward in ways we never see coming. It is tempting to look for meaning in every missed train, every forgotten item. Maybe sometimes there is none. But other times the universe hands us a second chance, disguised as inconvenience or disappointment. Alex understood now that change doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers. The lesson lingered long after the rain stopped. Alex found themselves noticing the details more, the way sunlight filtered through leaves, the sound of distant laughter, the feel of keys in their pocket. Each moment was a thread in a tapestry they had barely begun to notice. Perhaps the greatest lesson was also the simplest: nothing is too small to matter. In the end, it was not a grand event that changed everything, but a series of small, ordinary moments. A forgotten umbrella, a delayed train, a missed meeting. These are the things we overlook, yet they quietly shape our lives. Alex's story is not unique. We all live on the edge of the unexpected, never knowing which small choice will matter most. The world is built on unnoticed moments, everyday decisions that carry more meaning than we realize. If we learn to pay attention, to notice the quiet details, we might see the miracles woven into our routine. The next morning, Alex picked up the umbrella, paused, and smiled. The day ahead was still unknown, but now each step felt a little more significant. The world was ordinary, and yet, because of its small, hidden miracles, anything but. So, pay attention to the small things. They are the beginning of everything.